So almost as much the belly of the beast as this city here. Not quite, but that gentleman who wants us to reconquer Mexico, I can tell you I practically live there and we don't want it, so sorry, bro. I am here to talk about free speech. That's what we're all here for. We're here to protect it, we're here to fight for it. Thank you, by the way, for the applause, you're beautiful. Yeah, so I am, if you can't tell by my accent, I am a homosexual. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm sure. By the way, thank you for your speech, sir. One gay after another, that's what we do around here. Yeah, I'm gay, and they on the other side don't particularly like when gay guys are on this side for some reason. And I can't imagine being on that side with what they stand for and being gay, because gay people, in order to be ourselves, we need freedom of speech more than anything, and they're trying to silence that. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. Even to the point where they claim to be all about things like gay pride, and to be proud of who you are, you need to show your face. And how many of their faces have you seen today? I'm just seeing black masks. They could be anybody. It could be you guys. I don't even have any idea. The problem I've noticed with the anti-free speech movement. Oh, thank you, sir. Hi, perfect time to talk to me. Anyways, the thing I've noticed about free speech in America lately is the anti-free speech people, they don't just want us to stop saying whatever it is they're talking about us. What are they even asking us to stop saying? That's what I'm a little confused about. They're asking us to stop saying we like our president? Is that what they're trying to do? I don't know. No one can ever answer that question. They can't. We can't. I've done stand-up comedy for the last 10 years. I started in Michigan, which is where I grew up. And in Michigan, you could tell jokes about anything, and it would be okay. And then I moved to New York City, and in New York City, I noticed that you could tell jokes about anything, and the audience wasn't always on board. They're a little sensitive in New York. And then I moved to LA for some terrible reason, and I started, when I would tell my jokes on stage, the audience would cringe at even the slightest, like if I would use the phrase, "that's so gay," which we all use, it's okay, it's funny, but I use it, and I'm gay, so according to the liberal narrative, I should at least be allowed to say that, but then the audience would get uncomfortable. One time, for example, by the way, I'm prepping you, this is not that funny of a joke, so I don't know why anybody cared about it, but it was Oscar season, and I said, the Oscars are probably the gayest thing I've ever seen, because it's a bunch of men in makeup handing each other solid gold statues of naked, muscular gentlemen. That was a dumb joke I told on stage. It's not that funny, and it's fine. I told that joke, I got off stage, and the manager of the comedy club came up to me and said, Jeffrey, that joke you told about the Oscars, that kind of stuff doesn't fly around here. And I was like, oh, I shouldn't make fun of the Oscars in Los Angeles, I kind of get it, like industry people. And he was like, no, you can't call something gay in a derogatory way, that's discrimination. And I said, I am gay, so I can call anything gay, according to your rules, right? And then I got banned from that comedy club for talking back to the comedy manager and telling a joke and calling something gay. Then, over the course of 2015 and 2016, I noticed in the green room, which is the place where, like, if you're going to be on stage, you hang out before the show, there would be signs posted up there that would say, you're not allowed to make jokes about these things. And there would be things like rape and pedophilia and whatever. And then sometimes it would be like, you're not allowed to make jokes about Islam. And I would be like, first of all, if you're going to tell me I can't joke about it, that's all I want to joke about. And also, why do you pick just one religion of the thousands of religions that exist in the world and tell me I'm not allowed to make jokes about that? Now, obviously, I'm going to make jokes about it. And then I noticed there started being additionalists that would say things like, men aren't allowed to make jokes about women, or white people aren't allowed to make jokes about these certain things. So I noticed that over the course of the last couple of years, that free speech was being attacked in an environment like comedy, which, to use a terrible phrase the left loves, comedy is sort of like a safe space for free speech. Comedy is a place where if you want to say anything, let me step back, sorry, it's a rookie mistake. Comedy is a place where if you want to say anything, you should be allowed and comfortable to say anything. And they started pushing back on that. And my fear from that is that if something like comedy, which has such a big influence on our culture as Americans, if something like comedy is infringing upon free speech, it's pretty soon that that's going to permeate the rest of our culture. People are going to think infringing upon free speech is not only tolerable but a good idea, and then politically they're going to start enacting actual legislation to infringe our free speech. The last thing I want is the government to tell me I'm not allowed to joke about Islam, because then all I'm going to do is write jokes exclusively about Islam, and then I'm going to go to jail. And I would not survive in jail, no matter what you've heard. So, another frustrating thing I'm noticing specifically about today. I came here today naively optimistic, thinking everything's going to be great, it's going to be peaceful, it's just going to be a group of pro-free speech people hanging out and having a good time. And a fat lesbian tried to kick me in the balls like an hour ago. She missed, by the way. I don't think lesbians know where balls are, which is fine, they don't need to. I had this tiny screaming Filipino woman claw at my arm, all in the name of, I'm guessing, anti-free speech. So that's what we're up against. They also don't like the fact that I'm a gay, Christian Trump supporter. That doesn't really make sense to them. What I've noticed as a gay Christian Trump supporter is that gays often don't like the other two things I am. They don't like the fact that I'm a Christian. They don't like the fact that I'm a Trump supporter. Some Christians don't like the fact that I'm gay. That's fine, I respect that, freedom, etc. But every Trump supporter I've ever met has been fully supportive of me as a gay Christian. Thank you. I feel, in terms of safe spaces, I feel safer surrounded by Trump supporters than literally anywhere else in the world. When I walked in to this event today, and I was surrounded by all these guys with American flag capes, Make America Great Again hats and flags, military gentlemen, I felt so incredibly safe. Until Antifa started throwing M80s across the DMZ, that started freaking me out. I did, however, sneak into the Antifa side and grab some sandwiches. I don't know if you guys have done that. They're not that good, by the way. It's like almond butter with bananas. How do you mess that up? There it is! M80s! Celebrate your country by blowing up a small part of it. Thanks, guys. Beautiful. By the way, it might not be funny. Somebody could have actually gotten hurt in that. But you know, there's no such thing as a too soon joke. You guys, what I'm trying to say is freedom of speech separates America from the rest of the world. We are one of the only countries on earth where it's written down in the document that makes our country that we are allowed to say whatever we want. And it's not okay that anybody wants to stand up against that in any way. Even to the point where if you wanted to call me a faggot, you can do that. I might not enjoy it, but you have the freedom to do that. And that's fine. My best friend calls me that all the time. It's endearing. So in conclusion, I just want to say, you're all very brave for being here. I appreciate all of your support and your attention. I appreciate the time you're taking to be here. Thank you to the Liberty Revival Alliance for putting this on. This event is magnificent. And I just want to thank you all. God bless everybody, and God bless America. Boom! Boom indeed!